Alright, Derek Energeski, and I want to welcome everybody to day 2, where we are going to cover what are keywords, what is content, and why in the heck that you should care. Now, if you remember from the video yesterday, these are the foundation, the start of the foundation towards generating traffic online. And from traffic, we're able to derive visitors to our blog that we insert into our hub so that we're able to monetize them. And that's what we're going to cover today. So how do you get people to your blog or your web page without them getting lost? So I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been on the web looking for something in Google and you haven't been able to find it? And I know that you have, because it happens to me all the time. Well, that's what we're going to cover today, because your search engine results come primarily from two things: the keywords, or the words that you type into the search engine, and the content, or the material that is out there on the web. And if you have both of those combined with some other factors on your site, guess what? You are going to get visitors. And from that, we're able to turn those visitors not only into prospects for your business, but eventually money. So let's start with keywords first. So what are keywords and why they matter? If you've typed anything into Google, and we're going to do this, the words or the search engines return some results, and they return those results based on what you typed into Google, and Google gave you their best estimation of what you are looking for. The thing to remember about keywords is that what they represent is intention. So no different than this spotted leper on here, whose intention is either to defend himself or to attack somebody. It is what you are trying to find and what you are looking for. So let's talk about how people actually search. And on the screen before you, what you see is pet grooming. So if somebody is searching for pet grooming, Google says that the two most relevant search results are grooming.petsmart.com and petgroomer.com, pet and dog groomer resource with grooming schools. We can refine this search by looking at dog grooming, and what I want you to notice here is that the results that come back are different than the first one. The first one had PetSmart and petgrooming.com. This result, when you search for dog grooming, is from bestfriendspetcare.com and ehow.com. That's a different result, even though that those two terms are relatively related. Pet grooming and dog grooming is a subset of pet grooming. They get different results. And we'll take that one step further and look at cat grooming. So with cat grooming, we have petplace.com and aspca.com is another result. Let's look for how they're related, is because there is a need for specificity when you're searching in the search engine, when you're typing in terms or keywords into it. And in this case, dog grooming and cat grooming are a subset of pet grooming. And this highlights the difference between primary and secondary keywords. So what I mean by that is there is a natural inclination for people to search in broad terms first and then get more specific as they go down. So what I've shown on here is terms that Google thinks are related to pet grooming, and the pet grooming is being represented as the primary word, and then the secondary keyword has subsets or smaller variations. And you see on here pet grooming products, pet grooming equipment, pet grooming business, cat grooming, etc. It goes around the horn. The point is that a primary keyword can be very generic, and a secondary keyword starts getting even more specific. As search gets more specific, it becomes less competitive because there's less content dedicated to it. And the inverse of that is that there are fewer people searching for it. So I took a subset of pet grooming, and I did products, equipment, business, and cat grooming. Now, all of those secondary keywords are related to pet grooming. So in some form or another, you can have a search result for pet grooming that includes a subset of those. Whereas if you just look at cat grooming, you're probably not going to find much information related to pet grooming because cat grooming is more specific. And on the screen, what you can see is the number of search results that are dedicated to the keyword phrases. So pet grooming itself has about 1.5 million search results. And as a search result is a piece of content that is dedicated on the internet to that specific topic. Whereas as we go this way, pet grooming products only has 31,000. Pet grooming equipment has 60,000, pet grooming business has 15,000, and cat grooming has about 1 million. Now we can get even more specific than this, and let's take a look at a pet grooming business more in depth. So if we take apart, we start with the keyword pet grooming over there on the top right hand part of the screen, and we break apart pet grooming business. We can now look at all of the terms that are related to pet grooming business, and this is even more specific of a keyword. And again, we have there's less competition for it, but there's also less people searching for it. The point though is that you can extrapolate, and keywords are, you can have a variety of keywords that are related to a topic. The reason that this is important is because these keywords and these keyword variations are going to allow us to create content. So what are the search engines looking for? And this is the question, the natural question that comes up when you're looking at keywords. And the reason for that is the search engine's goal in life, this is Google, Yahoo, and Bing, is to return relevant content. Now, what is relevant content? Well, relevant content is the relationship between what you're searching for and what the search results bring up. And it can be in the form of Facebook and eBay and articles, videos, any comments that you can make on forums, Yahoo Answers, blog posts, different blogs, videos. There are millions and millions of different ways that you can create content for the internet. So we've already said, have you ever had a mismatch search engine result? And you can see here, if you just do a search for mismatch search engine result, you get something that has no relationship to what I was even trying to find. You know, for instance, the fourth one says mismatched libidos. Well, that's got nothing to do with a mismatched search engine result. What that means is that this content isn't relevant to what I'm trying to find. So let's contrast to one of the searches that we did earlier, which was the dog grooming. So if you do a search for dog grooming, the results that you get are going to be a lot better. In fact, you're probably going to be fairly happy with these results. And that is, after all, what the search engines are strived to do, because if you search for something in Google and you find what it is that you're looking for, you're more likely to use them in the future. And I refer to Google a lot because I think that they have the best results. When I search for things in Yahoo and when I search for things in Bing, I feel like I get better results in Google than I do with them. I shy away from them. I leave them, and Google controls 75% of the search market exactly for that reason. Is their algorithm that they use is better. It's more intuitive to what users are really looking for. So if you understand that the drive of the search engine is to return this relevant content, then the next logical question becomes, how do we get your website, your content, your blog posts to the top of the search engines? And that's what we're going to talk about next. Content that appears at the top of the search engine results has a couple of things to it. It has the top left, it has links to it. Now, a link is sort of a bridge or a pathway from one website to another, and the search engines have realized that the more links that a website has, the more relevant it is. And you can use something called anchor text, which is just the words to describe the link. And that usually is a pretty good indication about what topically that page is about. So the more links that you have, the better. Uniqueness is also a form of relevant content. And the uniqueness is if you put a bunch of articles that you just copy from another page and you put them on a blog or if you just copy a video and you put it under a new account. Well, guess what? The search engines aren't stupid. They have hundreds and thousands of PhDs who work for them, who can have figured out how to determine if something is unique or not. So creating your own version of content or information is extremely important, and it's one of the factors that will be very important in you getting traffic and visitors to your website. Another aspect of relevant content, or getting your content to the top of the search engines, is the competition. Because let's face it, there is a lot of competition for a term like home-based business, whereas there's a lot less competition for the secondary keyword of it, which could be ACN home business or Amway home business. Even more so, there could be less competition for a different variant of that word, the best Amway home business. So the longer of phrases that you have, the less competitive are. There's a lower search volume, but you're able to get more content to the top of the search engines, which in turn, all of those lead to more visitors for your website. And so saying that just another way is the content that you produce, the articles and videos that's on the most popular sites like YouTube, sites like Facebook, sites like Twitter, sites like eZine articles, that have the most popular votes or links, the number of links that point back to it, and that is most relevant to the search engine, is going to win. And this is great news for you, whether you know it for that. And the reason for that is because here is what you have the ability to control. You can control the number of links that your content has because you're able to build links. You don't know how yet. That's something that I'm going to teach you in a later module. You have the ability to make unique content as opposed to copying material. You have the ability to assess competition to determine whether or not your article is a good fit or not. Your content is a good fit or not. Okay. You also have the ability to make relevant content, including all those other factors, but then telling the search engines what your content is about. So if you produce content on Amway and you use the word Amway a lot and Amway variants, and the search engines are going to understand that your article or your content is about Amway. And all that means is that you are going to have visitors that come to your site. Remember, we want visitors in order to get them into our hub so that we are able to monetize them. That is what we are after all. So where we're going over the next 6 days is that we are going to set up your blog. We're going to talk about why you should blog, and I'm going to show you what to write and how to write it. Then we're going to use articles to generate links and visitors to our site. We're going to promote information through videos very quickly, very easily. We're going to show you how to do videos, even if you don't want to be on a camera, kind of like I'm doing right now. I'm going to show you how to use Facebook the right way to make money. We're going to set up your autoresponder so that you're able to market yourself over and over and over again. And we're going to talk to how to make money by monetizing everything that you do. So there is a link on the bottom of this. It is a product of mine. It's called MLM Lead University, and it goes more in depth than the 6 days. It's going to teach you everything that you want to know, and it's step-by-step videos instruction. We got hours of video and action guides for you that go more in depth in these steps. It covers everything that we are talking about over the next 6 days. It's taking it to a whole nother level. So I offer it to my subscribers for $1 for a 30-day trial. That's a ridiculous deal. So tomorrow I want you to get ready, because we are going to set up your blog to start this process of being able to create a massive amount of traffic for your website. See you then.